Once upon a time in a village not too far away, there lived a poor boy with his widowed mother. They were so poor that all they had to their name was their one cow, which they were planning to sell so that they could buy some food. But before they could do so, Jack, the young boy, was sent by his mother to a market in the next town over to trade the cow for food. On his way to the market, Jack met an old man who told him that he had some magic beans to sell. He said that if Jack planted them, they would grow into a magnificent beanstalk that would reach all the way up to the clouds. Now, Jack had never heard of such a thing as magic beans, but he thought that if the old man was telling the truth, then maybe he could use the beanstalk to get something better than food for his mother. So Jack took the beans from the old man and ran off to his mother as fast as his legs could carry him. When Jack told his mother what he had done, she was furious. She threw the beans out the window, and as they lay in the dirt, they began to sprout. The next morning, when Jack looked out the window, he saw that the beanstalk had reached all the way up into the clouds, and so he decided to climb it. Up and up he climbed until he reached a magnificent castle made entirely of gold and precious gems. As Jack approached the castle, he heard the sound of singing coming from inside, and so he walked in to see what was going on. In the center of the room was a beautiful white female hen that was singing as it laid a golden egg, and beside it was a magnificent harp that was playing the most beautiful music Jack had ever heard. You see, these magical items were the source of the giant's wealth and power, and Jack knew that if he could bring these treasures back to his mother, then they would never have to worry about being poor again. So he put the hen in a sack and climbed back down the beanstalk. As he was climbing down, though, the giant woke up and, seeing Jack with the sack, began to chase after him. And Jack, hearing the giant's footsteps behind him, began to run as fast as he could. He looked over his shoulder and saw that the giant was getting closer and closer, and so he turned and ran back up the beanstalk. The giant was much faster than Jack, though, and soon caught up to him, and grabbing hold of Jack's shirt, pulled him back down the beanstalk. Just when it seemed like all hope was lost, though, Jack grabbed hold of a vine and swung himself away from the giant just as the beanstalk snapped, sending the giant tumbling to the ground below. Now, when the giant fell, he fell right into a patch of soft mud and was completely covered up to his nose. And so Jack, seeing his chance, pulled the hen and the harp from the sack and began to make his way back up the beanstalk. The giant, being stuck in the mud, couldn't stop him. And so Jack made it all the way back to his mother's house with the two magical treasures. When his mother saw the hen and the harp, she knew that they would make sure that they never had to worry about money again. And so, after giving Jack a big hug, she took the items into the house. And that is why, my little friends, we should always listen to our mothers and never trade our cow for magic beans. For if we do, we might end up in the belly of a giant. The end.